Hey everyone, welcome to the Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness podcast. I'm Stephanie, a book loving, notebook hoarding reader and writer on a mission to change lives one book and one notebook at a time. On this podcast, we explore the power of books and notebooks as tools for wellness. Reading and writing can help us feel better and make life better too, and I'll show you how I do it. You'll find episodes exploring the research behind reading and writing for wellness, practical strategies to embrace your own restorative reading and writing, and you'll meet authors and special guests who help us take inspired actions in our own daily practices too. So grab a notebook and your TBR list and let's dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness. I'm Stephanie Affinito, and I'm excited to continue our summer series together. Now, I want to give you a little sneak peek into the structure that you might start to notice as of today, and then see threaded throughout our summer series. In my book, Leading Literate Lives, I talk about three key areas that are really important to grow if we want to have a reading and writing life that doesn't just feel good in books and notebooks, it feels good in our actual life too. Those are our reading habits, our reading hearts, and our reading communities. And of course, the same thing goes for writing. Now, the first episode in the summer series focused on our reading and writing habits. We talked about choosing tiny restorative practices that could fuel us and our wellness all summer long. Then we moved into our reading and writing hearts by giving ourselves permission to read and write slowly. And I love this because I heard from so many of you how that permission slip just felt so good to drop the number of books we needed to read, to not run to the next book right away, and to just sit and marinate with those stories. Well, today we're continuing that framework and we are focusing on our reading communities. So we started with tiny restorative habits. We moved into a permission for slow reading and writing. And now we're going to talk about our reading habits and what that could look like in a different restorative way this summer. So at its core, reading and writing, obviously, is solitary. It is an independent practice that we engage in. But it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. It doesn't mean that it has to be a lonely activity of one. What starts independently in our minds, in our bodies, in our own hearts, in our own practices can move outward into whatever community we decide to share it with. Now, you might be thinking of book clubs right now. As I say, sharing your reading life with a community, you're thinking about a book club. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking today about why you should create a summer reading circle with friends. Okay, that's different than a book club. A summer reading circle, there isn't a complicated structure. There aren't assigned books or chapters or discussion questions. It's just a gathering of people together who want to read, reflect, and connect. That gathering can be a gathering of two, all the way up to the largest gathering you can imagine. It could be in person, online, in Zoom, in an email, or a text thread. That's what we're going to talk about today. Why and how having a summer reading circle with friends can boost your restorative reading life, can make it even more possible that the reading you do can change your life for the better. Now, the summer is the perfect time for this kind of circle. Summer often allows us to slow down a bit. Maybe work slows, the days get longer, so there feels like there's more time to get it done. Many of us are taking vacations or trying to stay closer to family or the kids that are home for the summer. Summer often is a time for reconnection with ourselves, with our hobbies, yes, with our books and one another. And so I want to invite you very explicitly today to create your own summer reading circle, a gentle gathering, defined however you defined it, centered around stories, around reflection, and around connection. Now, I'd love for you to just take 30 seconds to reflect with me. Who are your reading people? Who has shaped your reading life and the kind of reader that you are today? Who has recommended books to you that have changed you, that you have loved, that have brought you comfort? Who do you love talking books with? Who do you automatically text or email or think about when you read a book? And when was the last time you had a conversation with someone about a book? Who was that person? I want you to just generate a list of people in your head that could be your book people, whether that's one book bestie or a larger book community. I want you to think of who those people are. Because, as I mentioned, reading may be a private, solitary activity, but the stories, the messages, the things inside the pages, they become even more meaningful to us when we share them with others, right? The book by itself helps us feel less alone, helps us understand different experiences and people and places and ideas and cultures that are different from our own. It helps us find language and inspired action in our own life. And yes, we might even feel like we're building meaningful connections with some of those fictional characters. But a reading community can make all of that better. It gives us the opportunity to think, to reflect, to make sense of what we're reading, to share it with others and get a wider view of how someone else took up the story, how someone else might be inspired of it or by it. And the simple fact is, the book is just a catalyst for that kind of conversation and discussion that can be life-changing as well. So, as you think about your reading circle, I want to be very clear that I am not telling you to join a book club, right? Book clubs can be hard, right? A lot of people avoid book clubs because they feel like it might be too much work. There's too much pressure. There's too much structure. There's too much, right? That they have to get done in order to get to the book club. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I want you to find a circle of people to talk books with. That might be choosing to read one book together. It might be choosing to read a book each that you own, that you each choose around a particular theme, or it might just be whatever book you want to read. And spoiler, it doesn't even have to be a book. It can be a poem, an essay, a picture book, whatever you would like. The goal of a reading circle with friends is not to finish the book or analyze the book. It's to simply read and connect around those books. So, I want to offer you a couple of steps today that you could take to create your own restorative summer reading circle with friends. Step one, gather your book people. Okay, you can start small. One book bestie is enough. Two, three, four, five people, that's enough. Friends, neighbors, colleagues, family members, people in person, people online, whoever they are, whoever you thought of at the top of the episode when I gave you those reflection questions, think about them as your people. Now, once you've gathered those people, it's time to choose your reading experience. As I mentioned, you could choose to read the same book. Just keep it simple if you do. Low pressure, show up even if you didn't finish it. Allow the book to be the spark to come together. You could choose a seasonal theme, and everyone chooses a book around a one-word theme that you love. Now, spoiler alert, this is what we do inside my restorative reading and writing circle on Substack. And this month, our theme is the most wonderful word, mirabillary. It means seeking wonder, seeking joy, seeking all the good in the world. Now, the third way that you might create the shared reading experience is just to tell people to bring a book. Whatever you're reading, whatever they're loving, whether that's now, whether that's in the past, or a book that you're hoping to read, just show up yourself and a book. It's enough. That creates the least pressure, and that allows people whatever opportunity they have to attend without feeling like they have pressure to complete something. So you've got your people, you've got your shared reading experience. Now you create the gathering. You decide, is it in person at home? Is it in person at a coffee shop or a library? Is it on Zoom? Is it not either one of those things, and instead it's an email thread or a text thread, right? You can define what gathering means for you in the season of life that you're in so that it works best for everyone. But no matter how you gather, I want you to keep it simple, right? Maybe you just come together and you share titles, you share reactions, you share favorite lines, favorite quotes, the characters that stayed with you, a connection you had to your own life, something that the book sparked in you, a question that you're carrying and you want to talk about it. There are no rules. There is no formal structure other than whatever you decide on as a group. That's it. Step 1, 2, and 3. But I will say, if you want to add a step 4, which is what I highly recommend, you could add a tiny writing practice to this, right? You know, I love when restorative reading and writing alchemizes together. And so at your gathering, you might invite your book besties to spend just a couple of minutes writing a reflection to the book, something that the conversation sparked. Maybe it's a note of gratitude for someone in the circle or outside of it. Maybe it's a memory that was jogged. Maybe it's a list that will help you move forward. Whatever it is, adding that teeny tiny bit of writing can help alchemize the experience and just layer on those benefits of whatever happens when you put pencil to the page. So I just want you to take 30 seconds and imagine what your ideal restorative reading circle with friends might look like. Maybe it's a warm July evening, a handful of chairs in your backyard by the pool. You've got a book in your hands. You've got drinks on the table, laughter, conversation, quiet moments of thinking and writing. Maybe that's what feels good to you. Or maybe yours is on a Zoom call with the people that you choose to engage with. And instead of drinks on the table, there are drinks on the desk that you raise up in a virtual cheers as you talk about books instead. What kind of reading community are you longing for this summer? What kind of reading community is going to fit best in the season of life that you're in? And what's one small invitation that you could extend this week to help bring that restorative reading circle to life? Think about what that could be and just go for it. Just do it, right? Because this kind of connection matters. In the end, a summer reading circle might not really be about the books at all, right? The books bring us together, but it's the space, it's the connection that happens when you talk about books with others, which leads to conversations about our life, our hopes, our dreams, our wants, our wishes, our world. And that space just gives us permission to slow down, to listen, to wonder, and to belong, right? My bookish communities make me feel like I belong in no other way that happens in the rest of my life. It's just a magical gathering of people. And if you're in it, you know what I'm talking about. So that's my call to action for you this week, to take one tiny step toward a summer restorative reading circle with friends. And if instead of creating your own, you would like to hop into mine, we would love to have you. We are online at Substack, alitlife.substack.com. It's just $5 a month. And not only do you get a summer reading circle / book club, you get book calendars and writing prompts and coaching episodes and other live events and the best community of bookish people that I think you will find online. Thank you for listening. I hope you are enjoying the summer series, and I hope you go out and take one tiny action this week to create your book connections that are going to fuel you all summer long. Thanks for listening, everyone, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Restorative Reading and Writing for Wellness podcast. You'll find links to all of the books, resources, and ideas mentioned in the show notes and at alitlife.com. And if you want more, you might like to join my Get Literate Substack community There, you'll find additional inspiration for your reading and writing life, like bonus podcast episodes, book calendars, monthly book clubs, notebooking inspiration, live events, giveaways, and much more. It's only $5 a month, and you get instant access to all of the previous content, too. You can learn more at getliterate.co. But there's one more thing. If you love what you listened to today, please take a moment to rate and review the podcast, or take a screenshot of the episode and text it to a friend. This helps the podcast grow and builds our bookish and no bookish community too. Thanks for listening, everyone.